I finished running the 10 gauge cable. If you remember from the other videos, I had the 12 solid core outdoor cable running in here. That was just what I had, and it did great. It was pulling 19.5 volts on average, even in the morning. And fortunately, where I live, there aren't a lot of trees to block the light, so I'm really pulling in some good voltage. But anyways, ran that. I was talking with my father-in-law. We were trying to figure out, or not we, but I just did not want to spend the money on one of those ANL fuses that you see a lot of. We used to use that back when I was in high school for heavy auto, or not automotive, but audio-visual equipment, or audio and visual equipment. And the problem is I'm trying to make this system to where it's easy to replace parts, it's inexpensive to replace parts, and if something were to fail, I can easily go get another fuse without having to buy it on Amazon, or if all the stores are closed. Because if you've seen in the other videos, this system here is not for a grid tie. This is an emergency system. So that's exactly what I want. I don't want to have a bunch of things that could possibly go wrong to where I'm relying on buying the fuse online. My Radio Shack by me sucks, so they don't have those fuses. And those fuses are like $5. The $5 for a 40 ampere. This is only a 30 amp charge controller, so those inexpensive 100 amps aren't going to do anything with this, because by the time the 100 amp blows, this is going to blow. Fortunately, this is a good charge controller. It's only $30. So eventually, when I can, I'll just get it a spare, just in case. But anyways, I wanted to go with automotive fuses, and most of the automotive fuses that I have here all have 14 gauge wire on it, and I didn't want to rip the wire out and resolder some 10 gauge in there, because I'm not going to know whenever I'm going to need those inline fuses. So my father-in-law and I were talking. Sorry for the dirty hands here. I was digging in the ground. He was telling me just take 2 spade plugs and put a fuse in there. And I can't believe, I knew he was smart, and I know he's probably one of the only ones that watches this video. I knew he was smart, but every time I call him to rack his brain, he comes up with something else. So, but I have it in this electrical box here. And because I also don't want to rely on trying to find a screwdriver and things like that in a quick pinch, I just put the one screw in here, put the wire in here so it swings down, and I'm good to go. But I can, if the fuses blow and I don't have any more fuses left, I can easily go out in my car or my wife's car. We have plenty of them. And if it gets to the point where we only have 10 or 15 amp fuses left, I'll just disconnect 1 or 2 of my solar panels so it doesn't blow. But that's the latest update. I'm gonna finally start cleaning these wires up. That's really what I was going for, finishing all these wires up. And then when these wires are finished, then I'm gonna clean up all of this. And once this is all clean, I'm not exactly sure what I want to put here. I'm just gonna move these TVs, but I have a nice 12-volt refrigerator that I'd like to try to see, how well it works. And if, worst case scenario, I can mount it right here, and that's for us to keep, the real important things refrigerated. My main goal is to be able to do things, keep things refrigerated, because my wife and I are still trying to have kids, and you never know when the power will go out, and you never know how long the power is going to go out. So, if you have things that'll spoil for them, you definitely don't want to take the chance of feeding your kid some bad things. So, I have a nice little DC refrigerator that I'll probably mount here, or put here somewhere. I don't want to put it in this shelf, and I don't want to remove this shelf to put it here, because these are where my power inverters are going to go. My power inverters and some other goodies. But fortunately, this is a nice open frame, so I can really mount whatever I want anywhere. So, alrighty. Well, that's it for this update. Stay tuned for another update from the homestead.